everybody, welcome back to The Library, the show where we talk about Halo lore. I'm Austin.
I'm James.
I'm Connor.
I'm Shane.
How are you guys doing today? We're going to be talking today about Halo once again. Isn't that shocking? Isn't that so surprising? We're going to have some really fun guests on today, though, that you're not going to miss out on. Before we get on to that, though, JumperScape.com if you want to get plugged into the community, either on our Discord, or you can go to patreon.com/JumperScape and you can support us there. All the sorts of other things to find on the website that you can take a look around at. These guys are still messing with the cards that we got in our P.O. box.
I brought mine home.
I'll bring mine home when I gotta get a binder. That's when I'll bring mine home.
But otherwise, usual things, glitchenergy.com, spelled with a Y. Use the code Connor141, spelled C-O-N-N-O-R, 141. I'm sorry, this rattled off like that.
Whoa.
You're good.
I was
Connor's
rolling.
like, I get to say one
No,
thing.
I'm sorry. I got you. Rewind. Connor141, spelled
C-O-N-N-O-R 141. Don't feel the same.
And if you want to call into the show or any of the other shows that JumperScape hosts, you can call in at 206-278-5795. Again, that is 206-278-5795. Just say your name, the show you're calling in for. You got 2 minutes to say whatever you want, and be sure to keep it clean. All right. You dropped your card? You dropped your active camo card?
I was showing off my meal card in the little container.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like holding his up, and I'm like mid, and he shot me a weird look. He dropped, and you just hear,
Oh my gosh.
that hurt.
Well, anyway, by the way, I know that's a certain someone who keeps on pointing it out. Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt again. It's just a nice shirt, and laundromats do exist. It's a nice shirt. It's available on the website. Just go and grab it if you point it out so many times.
Austin just admitted he doesn't have his own washer or dryer.
Yeah. A lot of people don't, James.
Respect that. These days, apartments have laundromats in them.
Yeah, well, really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right,
This is not an apartment, so
it is not.
you don't have to make that face, Connor. Totally not an apartment.
So, my friends, kicking off our conversation today, we're talking about the one and only, probably in my opinion, the greatest community site, you could call it, that exists in the Halo community today. The Halopedia, which has probably by this point hundreds of contributors and dozens of folks that dedicate their time and hobby time especially towards adding on to the Halo lore, making sure everything is documented, making it look all visually appealing and easy to ingest and digest for those who want to get more involved in the Halo lore without having to watch like 120 hours of Hidden Xperia or Installation 00 videos. So I am very happy to say that the reason why this title has just with Halopedia is because we have a remarkable amount of guests on the show today. I would love to count you guys down so you guys don't end up having to trip over each other. Bacon, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am one of the admins on Halopedia. I'm also one of the artists on Sins of the Prophets and general lore person.
Yeah, you are. I freaking love Sins of the
covers
Prophets. No, that's perfect. I love Sins of the Prophets. I'm excited for 2 to come out still. I'm still waiting. I'm so excited.
And now hopefully.
And then we are also joined by, some people call him Mr. Halopedia, but Chris Eichen himself.
Well, I am Christopher, or also known as CIA391. I'm one of the admins of Halopedia. You may see me in like almost like every Halo server known to man, pretty much. Or like nearly anywhere that's got Halo in it, you might just see me around randomly posting. But
I love it.
you might also have messaged me now and then if random people out there, you might have said, oh, I have a Halo question. I'm just going to DM this person. You're probably in one of that 3,000 messages I haven't gotten to yet, and I'm so sorry.
I mean, I've got to say, your dedication to answering DMs is remarkable. So good job. And then we are also
It's quite insane.
It is. And then we are also joined by Jack Vibe.
Hey, I'm Jack Vibe. Just call me Jack. Also, I'm administrator on Halopedia, long-time staff member. Probably quite embarrassingly long at this point, but a pleasure and an honor, really.
Embarrassingly long. I don't know if we could put it that way, because anyone who dedicates that amount of time to Halopedia, I don't even know how long you've been in it. This is our first time ever getting to meet you, and I'm very happy to finally say hi to you. I don't know how long you've been around, but I can say every single person who has dedicated any amount of time, any long amount of time to Halopedia, I have massive respect for. So I very much appreciate having you on. But then we got one more. We got one more. Uno más. Arbiter 117. Arby, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm also a admin at Halopedia. I do a variety of things for Halopedia, but also help maintain some of our socials along with the others here on this call. So if you see some tweets or posts or whatever you want to call them, there's a good chance I had a hand in making them.
Fantastic. Yeah, we basically got the Fellowship of the Ring of Halo in the call at the moment, and that's always fun to do. I don't really have a set conversation starter, so I kind of just want to jump into these things because you guys are probably going to be able to answer all these questions. I'm going to guess you guys have been around for a long time, much longer in Halo community and lore than I have been, very much so. So I want to get things just sort of kicked off. For those who somehow may not know, does someone want to try to answer the question of what is Halopedia?
So Halopedia is a wiki. It's in simple terms a wiki for Halo. For the longest time, predominantly been focused on lore, though we're slowly turning it around now to kind of sort of start covering more general topics in better depth, like gameplay, stats, and development info and content, and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And Halopedia started, I don't even know, like how long ago was Halopedia created? And more importantly, how would it compare then to now with how Halopedia has evolved? Like, if you can try to condense that down, I know it's a lot of history, but how would you quantify how Halopedia has changed over however long it's been? Because I don't even know when it started, really.
Okay, well, it started in November 4th, 2004, like over 20 years ago, pretty much. And it began as a clan pretty much. And like the wiki was originally made for people that were like, oh, let's make a wiki in this clan that we have. And then lore fans just took over.
That's fantastic.
They just infested the wiki and it just turned into Halopedia and then lore and all that sort of stuff. So it was like, look, because even I had to research into this just because it was such a underdocumented thing. I've got the history page of Halopedia open right now just so I can make sure I'm getting all my facts right.
Still using sources even when he's in the interview.
Oh, it's best to be safe and sorry.
And it's true.
I'll take it. My
lawyers out there, you know, they love a defamation case.
They do. They really do. I will say I've used Halopedia so very many times. My own personal journey with Halo lore mostly began with, I've already mentioned this a few times in the server, but my journey with it began back in probably 2019. Because I played the Halo games with these guys, but I didn't really care a whole lot about the story very much. No, I seriously didn't. No, I really didn't. I played the games and I liked the game story, but I was like, books? Like you read them? But that sounds so boring. I was a very dumb, like teenager, basically, uninterested in ingesting knowledge. So in 2019, things turned around a little bit because I ended up, I had someone that asked me some sort of question about one of the campaigns and I couldn't remember any of it. And I just ended up looking it up online. And obviously these days, Halopedia ends up being the number one response whenever you search anything in regards to Halo lore. And I'm looking around at that and I'm finding it fascinating. Like I'm digging around through it and I couldn't help but start clicking on links and going down rabbit holes, and it started to open things up a whole lot more. And Halopedia quickly, to a lot of folks, I've gotten a lot of personal stories, it quickly became to these sort of people the gateway that opened up what Halo really is, like how big it actually is in terms of its lore, where the smallest things have the most grand of details. In fact, actually, just last week we had on another guest, Sparrow Films, and when we were talking, I was mentioning that Halopedia has some of the most hilarious things, including the random button that Chris introduced me to, CIA, because I didn't know it existed. I never noticed it. I just didn't look at the left toolbar ever. and I started clicking it randomly one day, and I didn't know that the light at the top of High Charity had a name. and I certainly wasn't expecting it to be Fount of Light.
They
Good old Warfleet.
They got real creative with that name. they built that was the last piece of high charity, and that was just holding up like it was at 99.99% complete, and the prophets were just on their ass about yo, when's this gonna be done? It's the name of the light is what's holding us up, and they're like, you know what, Fount of Light, there, it's done.
Oh man,
Probably one of my favorite facts to come out as of recently.
it's great.
If we're talking about people being inspired by Halopedia, a very big thing that was inspired by Halopedia was Wikipedia, the big Star Wars wiki. Like, I just had to check, and they're like going, "Hey, we need a wiki for this," and I'm like, "Oh, let's make it like Halopedia," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And this was like back in 2005.
Man, that's wild. Actually,
Yeah.
I will say there is actually like I'm gonna bring up another site that you guys may end up running into some confusion from people every now and then. So there's this site, the Halo fandom. And
I don't know the lore. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know
there's a
either.
website called the Halo fandom page. It's basic.
Halo Alpha. That's called Halo Alpha. That's the easier name that most people know it by.
Halo
Alpha.
It's
but it's
on
fandom.
It's a fan lore page. It's got lore, but it's not lore that's legit most of the time.
Oh, Halo. Yeah, you're talking about Halo Fanon.
Fanon,
so
Halo
there's more
Fanon, yes.
confusion here.
I already
So
corrected you.
there's quite like there's a sort of a story. I mean, first of all, there's two Halo.fandom kind of pages, and there's Halo Fanon, which is our good friends over there who make fan creations and fan lore, fan fiction.
Very nice people.
And they write fantastic lore sometimes as well, and put their own spin on it, put their own twist on it, own characters, so on and so forth. And then there's the he who shall not be named wiki, the Halo Alpha, which is the
You just named it.
I did, yeah. They're coming for me now. But it's the going back to the start of the Halopedia, ancient ages, and this is even just about the time I started, really. Almost 2010. Halopedia was hosted on Halo.wikia, which is fandom's previous name. And at some point, the staff team back then made an executive decision to just leave the Wikia, or now fandom, community and split up from that domain name, and then set up our own website instead. Thank you to Popo Montage, who's our host. And what's left behind became the Halo.fandom wiki, which became Halo Nation. And the two wikis then existed concurrently, and each doing our own thing.
One doing it better than the other.
Yes, but but
each one
just-
Hey, Halo Nation wasn't all bad. It had some great people on it.
No, I have no
eventually-
problem with Halo Nation. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah, but it had some great people on it who eventually joined into us.
yeah,
And
so
I
there
find
were
them
kind of
awesome.
two splits with fandom.
Yeah, so in 2019, all the Halo Nation guys basically made a unanimous vote to join us. So a bunch of them came over here. I don't think any of those guys are actually in this call right now, but they all voted to join us, and they changed the name of that wiki from Halo Nation to Halo Alpha because they kind of saw it as like their community they were bringing over here. And so after that, after their staff team sort of came over here and joined us, and we kind of started combining forces to make one better wiki. Halo Alpha just sort of got left in the dust a bit, and last I checked it's like it doesn't even have pages for like books that came out like 3 or 4 years ago. At this point, it's mega abandoned.
That's the sort of stuff that I had no idea about, that I am glad we have you guys on to talk about, because that's the sort of stuff that really that educates and informs. See, the reason why I brought up the Fanon page is because Wikipedia has a very similar layout to Fanon, and so I myself have gotten confused before. I've spouted very, very false information because I was early times when I didn't realize that Halopedia was basically the place to check. I would go to a fan site and I'd be like, "Oh wow, I didn't know that about this card." Blah, 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 blah. It's a horribly incorrect thing. So it was just something that I found entertaining that I was just bringing up. I didn't know.
It's quite funny actually that you brought up November Black earlier because they did the same thing for the name of their project. So they took the name of November Black. They took the name of their project from one of the Halo fan lore pages about like a UNSC protocol called November Black, and they were adamant like, oh, it's a real canon lore like thing. Until someone pointed out there was a fanon page that they were quoting. It wasn't actually like.
That's hilarious.
Say, brother, are you okay?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna bring it up. Oh, I love it. But that's the tricky part. That was the danger that I had seen before. That's why I was happy that it seems like this year. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Halopedia wanting to become more like the front page for Halo's lore community, trying to get more attention towards it so that people basically see it as the gateway to becoming interested in Halo lore or even getting interactive with it. Because as far as I'm aware, the definition of Halopedian is sort of different from person to person, but I think I'm going to assume that we could probably all agree that for us, Halopedians could just be people who are interested in Halo lore.
Yeah.
Well, that's my interpretation. Yeah. Other people have the interpretation that it's people that edit the wiki, and that's a fair interpretation as well.
Anyone who engages with the site, be it clicking on pages on the random button or uploading images for us or whatever they do.
Wait, anyone
can do this? We're sharing links and
I was going to say Connor has something to say.
Connor. Yes, Connor.
I saw Connor about to speak. I'm like, what is he about to say?
I do have a question. So, like, since anyone can pretty much edit it, what are some of the wildest, completely false things?
No, this is a good question. I was thinking about asking this one. Maybe I shouldn't.
We have some Wikipedia trolling experience.
I did it one time. Okay,
I'm just curious.
This would be me.
Was anything really funny?
This would be me going on and attempting a lore post on there. So, what's the process?
What do you think, Bacon? I think
Bacon would know this.
To consult.
Consult the Pedians.
Bacon's our vanguard for catching vandalism and stuff like this. Like I'll see vandalism and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go in and fix this. And even before
vandalism.
I hit edit, vandalism or bad edits. Okay,
I think vandalism is actually a great term for it.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
This is the term we use in our internally.
I like criminal mischief.
But yeah, I'll notice something gets a bad edit or vandalism or something, and I'll go in and fix it or revert it or something, and I already see that Bacon did it like 30 seconds after it was posted. I'm like, how are you doing that? He's like plugged into his computer.
The secret is I work. When I'm at work, I have Discord open on one monitor, and so whenever because we have like a logs channel, so whenever someone makes it to the site, it kind of just makes it like a little post in this log channel. So as soon as I see that log channel light up, I just go on it, see the edit, and like, oh yeah, it's fine. Or if it's a vandal, and you can usually tell if something's could be a vandal pretty quickly, just based off like the kinds of usernames people use or like that kind of thing. And it's like one button press. So it's like there was actually a bit earlier today where I reverted some edit or another, but I think I reverted it within about 10 seconds of it being posted and just like responded to it in the channel like a gift of like someone doing like a quick draw.
That's phenomenal.
They're on top of it.
But yeah, you think he's a robot.
That still leaves open the question though. What are at least one or two examples of some of the wildest things you've seen people try to put onto the Pedia?
There was a time where this is before I became an admin, but when I was clearing out old images, there was like 1,000 images of like My Little Pony images for some weird reason, and it took me forever to track them all down and just wipe them. People use it's why is this My Little Pony there? Why is that there? Why is that there? Delete.
People used to have
delete.
custom user pages where they could just kind of customize their own profile page, and so people used to upload like random anime pictures, random just renders, random My Little Pony images, stuff, just all sorts of random stuff.
So they tried to treat it like their own little social media for some reason.
Kind of, yeah.
That's wild.
Back in the day, Halopedia used to be quite active, with talk pages and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Used to have quite an active on-site community, which is something that's kind of died off a bit with Discord being a thing. everything's moved to Discord. But
that impacted like forums, like not just on Halopedia, but a lot of other communities. They used to have these forums, and then like 2016 comes along, and everyone just starts leaving their forums to go on Discord. And the ones that moved on to Discord are still kind of around or are flourishing, while the ones that stayed with forums, you don't really see them around anymore. And it kind of makes me a little bit sad that that's the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think there's honestly, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but I've been seeing a resurgence in the interest in having more forum platforms to discuss things, especially since we had lost the Waypoint forums.
Yeah, the Halo modding. I know the Halo modding server is talking about that right now, and kind of remaking a forum so there's a bit more of like a permanently accessible source of information to get in, to learn about and get into Halo modding. Because right now, so much of like Halo mod tools stuff is like arcane knowledge just kind of buried in a Discord. They're not happy about.
Those sort of conversations are really fun to have. Recently, we've been doing a spree of mod showcase streams.
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, we've had folks like Altus and Valkyries 733, and I'm hoping that we can get folks like Gashner on at some point. But these are the sort of things that I love hearing about, because these are the people that are working on things that I could never dream of ever getting to the point of clearly understanding, at least on the programming side. I know that there's difficulty. I just don't know what the difficulty is.
I want Cursed Halo 2 more than I want to be alive. Like I just want to throw that out there. Cursed Halo is so unbelievably fun to play, and it's so funny. Me and Austin recorded our entire playthrough, and it's on our YouTube channel. Yep. And it's like, I think it's like the second most popular like series on our channel. Our first,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, our first most popular is our Battlefront 2 videos, and then anything modded Halo is after that. Like, our modded Halo videos do so well, but in particular Cursed Halo was so unbelievably fun and funny. Like, you can't get that. Like, it's so it's like the most pure form of comedy. Just, I went in completely dark. Austin knew about it. I think you played it before me.
One time.
Yeah, he played it once before me. I went in pretty much completely dark. I heard a few things. I seen a TikTok clip. I didn't do any research. I went in. One of the most fun experiences I've ever had playing a Halo game, like bar none. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Now, are you playing the campaign or the multiplayer?
Oh, we were doing campaign. I wish we could do a multiplayer. Oh. We don't have enough folks that have the mod available to do that.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because we do play. We do have game notes quite often.
Oh, is that so?
That's what we are doing right now. Is Gashnor's Cursed Halo Reach. And it is a blast to play through that, and the Rocket Hog's ability to just be basically the Halo equivalent of the D20 dice, just either pushing coil, or it could be a Mac and Blast, or it could.
So we didn't play the Reach one. We played
a couple missions of the Reach one. That's it.
Oh, the Reach one was wasn't it like bugged or something?
It just wouldn't let us continue at one point.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we started having.
It was back when the mod first dropped. I think there was just a bug.
Yeah, part of our playthrough is on our YouTube channel for that as well. We recorded some of that, didn't we?
Yeah, we have one episode.
And we switched because it.
Jay out here plugging.
But yeah, we did I want to say we got maybe like halfway through. We didn't get to finish.
No, we got 1/4 of the way through.
Did we not get halfway?
Like 2 or 3 missions.
Where did we?
We got a little further than that.
No, we stopped at Sword Base.
Oh, damn.
Did we stop at Sword Base? Yes. I thought we got further than that.
Sword Base was it.
I was going to say, wow.
Well, at least get the tip of the spear then to experience that Rocket Hog.
I have to. I know.
We're going to have to try it again.
I'm going to have to. But
I'm hoping that there's been enough. Oh, God, that was like that was probably about a year ago, maybe a little bit over at this point, so maybe it's fixed up. Maybe we should go back and try it again.
I was there for the Reach one, wasn't I?
You were.
I thought so.
You were.
Yeah, you were there.
So I'm sitting here remembering, like, wasn't there the suplex gun or something?
Yeah, you had the suplex gun.
You and James need to do your playthrough of Curse CE, because we have me and Austin's playthrough. Now you two got to get your playthrough and do it.
But there's a couple other things that I sort of wanted to figure out about the mindset behind the development of Halo Waypoint and its articles. One part in particular was the
Halopedia, maybe.
Yeah. The part that I was
if we were writing for Halo Waypoint, that'd be something.
Yeah,
technically we have.
I keep suggesting it.
I'm going to get there. I promise, because I do want to talk about that. But I only recently discovered that you guys have a Minecraft page.
Oh, that's amazing.
What?
Do you guys just
Thank
have a
you.
page for like every game that Halo has ever interacted with? Is there a Dead or Alive page somewhere that I don't know about?
something
That's
that-
due to be made. I'm first working on the Minecraft pages and then getting them sorted, and then I'm going to use it as a template to make the other pages and also make the existing ones better.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's a general idea, at least what I have. My team can obviously go against that if they really want to, and I trust them a lot to push down my bad ideas if I have any, because they've pushed down so many of my bad ideas.
No, I think that's generally an idea we've been trying to. We keep, the problem with running a wiki, part of it is you have all these projects you want to run, and it could be a page that we want to do, but it's like, well, how many games do we know of that have done a crossover? How much details do we want to put in? How
It's
long is it
also-
going to go on for?
It's also the issue of like, for me, it's like I'd love to have like a dedicated page on, say, Forza Horizon, because Halo's had quite a few crossovers of that. But I don't play any of those games. I don't know what to say about them.
Well,
That
there you go,
too,
Connor.
yeah.
There's your niche.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was I was shocked that they had already thought of this.
Yeah, because they're talking just now about combining in a whole page for Forza Horizon since Halo's in there.
Oh.
So you gotta get in on that.
I'll make some
I'd
edits to that.
probably make a Forza page to account for Forza 4 and its Warthog.
I'm telling you right now, this guy right here can prompt ChatGPT so well to write that page.
We've seen how
Hey.
the AI route goes.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
doing that. I can write.
AI is a touchy subject around here. Let's be careful about that.
No,
I
will
was not.
say
I was talking
Halopedia
about him
or
being
not-
funny,
oh.
not about Halopedia ever doing such a thing. Let's calm down, because obviously they don't.
Hey, although I will say I can prompt like them. I swear. I mean, I can, but it gets censored. But I can prompt like a crazy man on ChatGPT. I'll tell you what, I'll
I
look
will
like
say,
a
us at
6-year-old wrote my
Halopedia
stuff.
probably won't do AI stuff. We're staying away from that
Oh, for
because
sure. Absolutely.
Oh,
Unless it's smart AI or dumb AI, and
outside of like the NPCs that we get to kill and all that, I mean, yap and all that. Shoot them with my AR.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody's ever worried about Halopedia going into that direction. I think anyone that's reasonable in the community understands.
I didn't even mean to start this conversation.
It's a good one. It is
It's
a
a good one.
because because there is the concern
It's
that
relevant.
Because I'm gonna guess that there are some people that dude, oh my gosh, have you guys seen the conversations that CIA has been having with Tempest?
Oh God.
the map.
No, Tempest is our unofficial server mascot. She's this fan created AI character that's part of one of our shows, and she is supposed to be a repository of Halo knowledge. What CIA has discovered is that she's not.
Need to look into this.
hey, where do I find this?
It's in the Let's Talk Halo chat. That's the only channel she's alive in.
What's happened with Tempest?
So basically, Tempest is programmed to every now and then pop in with her own little opinions about Halo lore, and she's supposed to be additive to the discussion. But instead, all she does is really just reaffirm that, in fact, the Halo franchise is a wonderful place and the universe is really interesting, and then every now and then just says something horribly wrong.
Like what?
Like one of my favorite things recently, I did a test message. This was not in the server. This was on my client side messaging system that I have set up with her. I just said, "Hello, Tempest. What is a Spartan?" And she's like, "Oh, the Spartans were a generation of Spartan 2s and Spartan 4s that were blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Okay, what about the Spartan 3s?" And she's like, "Oh, Spartan 3s were a generation of Spartan 4s."
Oh God.
just yapping to yap.
It's kind of awesome, actually, in a way, of how quickly she will come up with her own fan creations of what happened in Halo canon.
I see James is typing right now.
So there's not going to be a single thing that I think
something.
I don't think there's going to be any worry about AI taking over on Halo canon, because I don't think that it's going to be possible.
Well, the day that AI can actually source the original novels and like properly format citations, then we can talk.
Yeah, I think we'll be all.
Oh, that reminds me that fandom's planning to introduce the AI stuff in their wikis soon,
Are
or
they?
wikis
No.
in general soon.
No, really?
Honestly, they did a test of it and it was getting stuff wrong all the time. It was like quick did you know like section like of a bunch of their wikis that was saying like Zelda dated like Link or something like, and that doesn't really happen.
No,
like,
not really. No.
Really?
Oh gosh, there's just they're just
I'm
having
sorry,
a whole
you
conversation.
should have told me that I could do that.
She's funny. She's fun to interact with. There's a reason why I haven't deactivated her entirely. she's funny now because everyone just sees her as someone that will always get it wrong and thus is not someone to listen to. But all that aside, I do want to really now tackle the bit that I think has been the most exciting thing for me to discuss. This is one of the main. This is the single biggest reason why I'm happy that I have all of you here. Is you guys have contributed to many times Halo things like Halo encyclopedias. You've contributed to Waypoint. You've contributed in many ways to official Halo stuff, and I don't exactly know how to get the conversation started, but I suppose a good place to start would be how. How in the world did that sort of thing start kicking off? How did those communications happen? When did they start asking you for stuff? That sort of thing.
By mistake, because the wiki said stuff that the old encyclopedia added. That was
yeah. I wanted to bring that up when you're talking about the bad edits portion. Like what happens when a bad edit is left without anybody fixing it.
Oh no.
So this is like, I mean, one of my favorite examples to bring up is early in, I don't even know what year this happened, but it was probably had to be near the start of Halopedia. Somebody was editing the wiki and they were reading, I think it was Fall of Reach, and they thought that the phrase, no capital letters, by the way, United Rebel Front was a faction name.
Oh,
Ghost of Onyx.
So they put it in as an article in Halopedia that it was a United Rebel Front, like that the insurrectionist faction, and it was stayed on there. And when they were writing the original encyclopedias in 2009-ish, the people writing that were using Halopedia as a source clearly, and they pulled that, and now it's canon. So
what? Wait,
the United Rebel Front has appeared by name with capital letters now in like a dozen pieces of media.
Are you actually serious?
That easily.
Wait,
Similarly,
because I own every copy of the encyclopedia. I've read that URF article and I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. And it just wasn't supposed to be there the whole time.
yeah,
A lot of stuff in that old encyclopedia was not meant to be there.
I think I'd say that another one of the particularly egregious ones was what we would now know as the official timeline for like the Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 Mjolnir armor. We did a deep dive probably about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and basically came to the conclusion that back in maybe 2007, 2008, some dude just added all of that to the site without any citation, without any kind of like formal backing from any canon source. And then the 2009 Halo Encyclopedia plagiarized large portions of the site to the point where you could see the citation, like when you have like the little square brackets with like a 1 on the end, like a citation on the end of a sentence, even keeping those in some of the bits of the book. And so that's how the timeline for Mjolnir film that we have now basically became canon, was because all that information about the Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 suits, as far as we can tell, never existed in an official source prior to that.
That's hilarious.
I need to know who worked on that encyclopedia and just pull them on here and be like, what happened?
We just gotta act like we never talked about this, just to surprise them.
Just be like, we noticed these things our very own selves on our own volition.
Actually, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's even that whole first and second Battle of Mombasa.
The second and first battle in Mombasa came from Believe. And
not in the context of Believe, though. Not in the context of Believe. I think even back, maybe this might have been before your time. Then I think, this is so long ago, but I think before Halo 3 ODST came out, there was this belief that the Battle of Earth ended after like midway through Halo 2, like after Regret left. The Battle of Earth ended, and then that's basically what became like the first half of Halo 2 was the first Battle of Earth, and then Halo 3 came along, and then we had the second Battle of Earth. I think that that might have. I'm struggling to remember if it's Battle of Earth or Battle of Mombasa, but I think that might have been something that also got left behind in the encyclopedia, be it by a mention or like just outright copy and pasted. I'm not quite sure.
The second Battle of Mombasa was a thing from the Jake Courage website, because I actually did do a deep dive into that just because I wanted to get that documented a little bit better. But yeah, I don't think that's our fault. Thankfully. Or not our fault, but old Halopedia editors.
I'd be happy to push the blame to someone else if that's what we can do. I would push that away, yeah.
I'll just blame the 2009 encyclopedia anyway, because what it deserves.
I will say, Halopedia is in a way better place than it was back in 2008.
Oh yeah, So there's the first battle of Earth on the encyclopedia, and the second battle of Earth, and that did come from Halopedia. Well,
thankfully that's largely been ignored in current lore.
Thank God for that. Yeah, I think once Halopedia ODST came along and Ghosts of Onyx, I think also that kind of got
also
erased. Yeah, and that, thank God.
So basically,
now this is just turning. Sorry, now this is just turning into an internal Halopedia discussion.
No, I'm actually a huge fan.
That.
I'm just listening because you guys are doing the podcast for me today.
But no, like this is incredible to hear. I had no idea that it was basically just multiple. Whoever made the missteps, unfortunate, but multiple missteps that led to a lot of what we know today about Halo canon.
The Halopedia canon lore go crazy.
At this point, most of like all the information that came from the 2009 encyclopedia has been pretty much kind of covered in other sources since. So it's like the 2009 book at this point is basically irrelevant. I think there's like
that's what I noticed, because I did at one point, whenever I got the 2022 edition, I sat down and I had the 2009 out and the 2022, and there was some form of a re-release that I saw of the 2009 that I grabbed.
Yeah, the 2011 one. Yeah. Got that one at the side as well. Never look it out ever outside of what I want to check between the 2009 one.
Jeez. Yeah, I compared all of them, and I was astounded at how different things were. That was my first takeaway. I didn't know it got that deep though.
Oh yeah, the 2022 book is like one of the best things the franchise has ever produced. It's fantastic.
Now, that being said, did you guys help produce it?
We didn't have much to do with it. As far as I'm aware, unless CIA has some kind of like.
No, I didn't have any part of it. I think the most we had input into it was maybe us saying something to our contacts at 343 now, Halo Studios, maybe saying, hey, this thing can do that. And maybe then it just got added in.
Oh,
but I think that's the most inputs, I think.
I do have an example. I do have an example, actually. So do you remember about 5 years ago, you realized that the Halo was Variant of the Spirit?
I love that thing. Yeah, I noticed that.
And you called it out to Grim, Jeff Easterling, and he was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for letting us know." And then a few years later, that in the double page spread about Covenant dropships, it lists out the different classes of spirit, and it lists the Halo Wall spirit, and it's got its own pattern designation and like all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that is in. You could pretty much pin that entirely because you called it out to Grim, and he was like, "Oh shit, thanks for letting us know."
Yeah. That was I do remember going over that ages ago, and that is still one of my favorite finds, because it's a case of like, wait, that's unusual. Why is it doing that? Like just rewatching Halo Wars cutscenes. I'm like, because if you slow down stuff, it does, like, you can notice little things here and there. And that's the thing about editing. Like sometimes you have to go through things really, really slow just to see details that are interesting that might impact lore.
That's just.
I hope I'm being clear.
Yeah, no, it completely makes sense to me. I mean, I had no idea that sort of stuff was even conversations that happened. This is the part of the show that I'm excited about talking. That's why I'm happy that we're talking about this, because these are the sort of things that, as far as we like to say that we're super involved with a lot of this stuff that goes out in the community, we're not in everything, and so this whole opportunity has just been phenomenal. I mean, reading through the encyclopedia, especially the old one, and just knowing that it was created out of basically influence, you could say, from the Halopedia, starting all the way back there, and now the Halopedia is essentially a public access Halo Bible in a way, which I very much appreciate. I think that everyone who interacts with the website or even interacts with Halo lore in the slightest can appreciate the site. Recently, actually, in our server, we've been, with our book club, we've been doing, after we're done with our book club meetings, which we usually do, like, let's read 100 pages of this next book. We're going down chronological order as best we can. And well, after we're done talking...
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we're having fun with it. We're at, let's see, we just finished up with one story in the graphic novel. I forgot the name of it, but it's the one where Artas loses his mandibles to that elite that got infected by the flood.
So Infinite Scope.
The last voyage
of the Infinite Sucre. Yeah. That we're on that right now, and that means I think we're about it might be next session or one more session away from just playing Halo 2 for the book club, but we're going through that, and after we're done with our sessions, I encouraged everyone in the book club to make an account on Halopedia, and now we just have editing sessions. We just look through pages, we just look through everything, read through stuff, see if there's anything that we can catch. Because every now and then someone leaves a typo, or sometimes there's small things that sometimes they make an understandable adjustment to something. Like one of them just told me that I went through and I found this one article that just calls arbiter, so I went through and I added the. Just did the arbiter, or in the case of, let's say, like the Halo Infinite page, there was a section that implied that co-op, like a 4-player couch co-op, was still coming, but it never happened. So I made an adjustment saying that it never came and it never will come.
Right, that's cool as fun.
Yeah, so stuff like that ends up being the case, and what I love about that is that it encourages people to get even more interested in Halo lore. I think it's exactly what the website is designed to do in its essence. Instead of just being a place to catalog information, it's a place to get people interested in that information, because people start seeing these rabbit holes. They start noticing more things about Halo's canon in places that they wouldn't have noticed it before. So what I really want to know as we're closing out for the episode for today, even though I would love to talk for another like 4 or 5 hours about this stuff, what's the sort of stuff that Halopedia has planned? Is there a plan right now if we're going forward about what the goals are for Halopedia on a grand scale level? I know there's smaller plans, smaller ideas, but is there a direction forward for the website?
Yeah. So
Bacon's got something really cool started.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few projects that we're kind of working on simultaneously. So the way things work is like people just kind of work on whatever interests them. So different people have different projects going on. I'd say that one of the biggest and best projects for me right now is the gameplay rehaul. So because part of the issue that the site has always had is that because Halo was traditionally, for the longest time, an Xbox exclusive game, it was very, very difficult, if not impossible, to be able to like reverse engineer the files to get things like stats. How much damage does a battle rifle fire do? How fast can a Spartan walk in game terms? All that kind of thing. And so as a result, it kind of meant that the site always kind of drifted towards being like very much focused on lore with gameplay kind of as an afterthought, which has its positives and negatives. It means that the site's good for lore, but it means it's also terrible for actually sort of finding out like game stats. But since MCC came to PC and we have the modding tools which let us see all this stuff directly, one of the other guys on the staff team who used to be on the dig site team, he's currently sort of working on a project to basically do detailed stats tables for, eventually the hope is, every single weapon, NPC and vehicle in the franchise, and to really kind of round out the information that we can provide and make us better at kind of doing that kind of gameplay information. That's a very...
We all praise Scruffy here. Scruffy is ace.
Yeah. That's probably one of the best projects that we're working on. The other one that I think CIA was alluding to, so when he mentioned me, was I'm currently working on a bit of a redesign of the front page right now. Because the front page of the site, when you just sort of go onto the main page, I think it was probably last redesigned in a major sense in like 2011.
Whoa.
So it's getting on now. Like it's It's basically
A lot of things are hard to edit now as well. Like a lot of stuff is
Yeah.
like stuck in their way. Like if we were to go into it, we'd probably break something, and it's made most of us scared to touch it. So
And it's like since then, it's like we've probably had over half of the media in the franchise come out since then. We've got so much more information now about like content, also the new gameplay stuff, all etc. And it basically, and when you look at the main page, it's very text heavy, and it could be I think it could be quite overwhelming, especially if you're quite new to the site. So the hope is to redesign the front page, just to be generally more user friendly and to do a better job of getting new readers and new users to find more obscure parts of the site, to try and sort of be easier to find the information you're looking for, with the long-term goal then to eventually be like a full redesign of the entire look of the site, which is kind of like more of a long-term goal.
That's fantastic.
I think that's the big projects I'm aware of. I don't know if any of you guys have a particular project you want to mention.
Semi-related to that, I'm working on like a tutorial for getting started on editing properly. Because right now we've just got, hey, start editing, and then just tossing people to the wild west that is the wiki. And that is very intimidating to a lot of people. I mean, sure, we have people coming into the Discord and asking, but that is something that I want to make a little bit better. So like starting off a tutorial page that says beginner, and then getting people with very basic edits, like what you were talking about earlier on about replacing, like adding the words the or removing basic information or adding it in. That would be a beginner. Advanced would be like adding images and more advanced information, and then going on to more advanced stuff beyond that, like tables and templates and all that. So yeah, my goal is like make a tutorial of sorts that makes it so that anyone can edit very easier. Just from a top down all the way down to more advanced features, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense. I think the only pages that I've seen that assist in editing, I know that you guys have a layout page that helps describe how the layout should be for a page. And then I think there's one other page that might describe how you go about attaching an article to another article, but I think that's all that I've found. But I did link both so that people have at least a slight better idea on how to make that stuff happen.
Yeah, we have quite an in-depth guide on how to like cite sources and stuff, which I think is probably one of the more in-depth kind of help pages that we have.
Yeah, so I'm behind the concept of the tutorial because, like I said, there's a lot of people that want to get involved with this. I know one friend of mine in particular has been basically doing his own Halopedia stuff for, I don't know, when we were 7 years old. He was trying to determine how many damage points approximately, because he didn't have access to the engine. He would shoot me with an assault rifle in Halo 3 and then try to approximate how many damage points that AR is doing per shot. And he was doing that when we were just kids. So you can only imagine like how crazy he is nowadays. But folks like that are the kind of people that really want to get involved with this stuff. So if there was that sort of thing that made it so that onboarding a new editor, a new contributor would be easier, I mean, sure, absolutely. What would be your general encouragements for folks who really want to get into this sort of stuff, maybe really have something that they feel like they can contribute to Halopedia? What do you think would be the best way for them to just kick down the door, get in there, and have some fun with editing in the Halopedia?
I'd say the easiest method, if you just want to kind of start creating pages, if you go onto like any page for like a novel or a comic or a game or anything, we have like a big list of like what's called like a list of appearances. So it's a list of everything that's on the site that appears in that game. So it's like list of the characters in the game, list of the weapons, the vehicles, locations, events, so forth. And particularly for a lot of the novels that are released in like sort of the past 10 years, a lot of those pages still have like lots of red links where it's like a character who appears in the novel who doesn't have a page yet. And whenever we get new people who are like, hey, I just want to help on the site, but I don't really know what kind of thing he's doing, that's where I usually direct people, is particularly if they are interested in the novels.
Yeah, I would suggest people would do it. Oh, sorry, I'll let you speak there, Arby.
All right. But like kind of what Bacon said, he mentioned somebody coming and asking us what needs to be done. And the way you do that, we prefer to be done through Discord. That's the best way to communicate with us, especially when you're starting out as an editor. because we can walk you through it and show you the ropes there. So because having a person there to help you through it instead of just saying, oh, well, here's a red link, go make a page on this character who's mentioned in one page in Silent Storm. But yeah, so this way we can actually walk you through it a bit better.
Yeah.
So that would be my recommendation. Go on, Chris.
Yeah, you said what I was going to say there, Arby, which is great. I would always say join the Discord server. Like, you can always like ask us what needs to be done, or if you're wanting to edit and you know something specifically, you can ask us like, hey, can you help me edit this specific thing? And we're all happy to help out people. We want people to edit the wiki. We want more people to potentially like become very good at editing and all that, and to stay around.
Yeah.
I think
nothing we like better is than
yeah, go on.
we don't like anything better than a person who has a genuine desire to want to edit, because you know that person, they'll want to follow like our standards and our layout and and wants to make the wiki a better place. So we'll always go out of our way to help you. Go on, Jack.
Yeah, I think the last bit is just people should just do what they want to do on a wiki. You know, if they like writing about a character, they just get on that character's page and start listing out, wherever they've done on which novel and in the game. If they like the music, to go on to the soundtrack pages. We've got tons of soundtrack pages that are still red links at the moment. Just create the links, and if they are reusing a familiar theme, is it calling back to a different track with a similar name? Those pages can all benefit from someone just starting it and putting down like bits of information, and like they can say, it's could be very minor or it could be very big. And if they like taking screenshots, like I love taking screenshots, so I just Bacon gives me a request and I just go, all right, he needs an image of this. I'm gonna grab an image of this. I'm gonna make it pretty. I'm gonna make it look nice, and I'm gonna upload it on the wiki, and then he gets to do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at the kind of photo shoots we've had for Halopedia.
I've been sort of trying to sort of push the site towards more is like more image focused layout, I suppose you could say. Because like a lot of articles are, for better or worse, like big walls of text. And so something I've been really trying to push the site towards is embracing the use of images to break up text and kind of like pretty up pages, especially using more images from like the comics and concept art, and sort of really trying to show off the breadth of the kind of visualization that the Halo series has. And so that's kind of like sort of, I'd say, being taken to its like apex with like the main page revival project that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, like images, so many screenshots that we always need, especially for multiplayer armor. If you have any kind of non-standard multiplayer armor, especially in like Halo Infinite or Halo 5, and you want to add screenshots of it to the wiki, like we're always needing them.
I will say, ultimately speaking, if you want to edit, just edit. Don't be afraid. Like, we will, like, if you do something wrong, we'll try and nudge you in the right direction, but just edit. Worst we can say is, hey, we're going to help you do this a little bit better. But like, just edit. That's all you need to do, and just don't fear that we're going to say something bad to you. Just
I appreciate that, because I think there are a lot of people that are daunted by the concept. I mean, I was saying it earlier in the general chat in JumperScape today that I feel sometimes afraid, because we are I think the way that I put it was that we are the only ones that have the audacity to have an ongoing Halo lore podcast. And I'm terrified of saying something wrong in a chat filled with Halopedians.
I've really just kind of let you guys interview each other for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. That's why we have you guys here.
So
I mean, we can try to quiz you and see if you can say something's wrong.
I'll be the lifeline.
okay,
I'm good.
Listen, quiz him. Okay, how about this? I'll give you guys 3. How about that? Can we agree on 3?
Of anything? Anything from Halo?
Anything in Halo at all. I will try.
As usual, I'll be the lifeline.
Can we all blurt out if we know it?
Sure. Sure, I'll start since I came up with the idea, I guess. So I'll say, Franklin Mendez, right?
Yeah, I know him.
Where was he born?
Oh. Oh my gosh. What? Oh.
I'm ready.
I'll say it's a planet that appeared in Fall of Reach.
I had a feeling it's not. What? Hold on, okay, I'm gonna be wrong about this. I'm just gonna guess because That's what I'm here for. Was he born on either Earth or Reach?
No.
Darn. Okay.
I was wrong.
What was it?
Sigma Octantis 4.
Sigma Octane. Okay.
My guess was Earth.
Thanks, Connor.
All right, someone else can take one of the other two.
On the topic of the fall of.
Oh, great.
On
Cool.
the topic of that, it's like,
Yeah.
what was the first UNSC warship that was named in an official Halo release?
Ooh.
Mm.
Wait, was that that wasn't the Iroquois, was it?
Nope.
Darn. How about you guys? You guys got any guesses here?
No.
All right.
I mean, I got to guess.
I don't even know this one.
I can't tell you how close to being right it's going to be.
Go ahead, Connor. Try it.
Spirit of Fire.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go by everyone's reaction and just go off of I was wrong.
If you would have just said, so I'm right.
It's the heart. It's the heart you used. You said that with your whole
Spirit of Fire.
I'm the lifeline out here. I'm keeping it up.
So what was the first ship named in Halo lore?
The destroyer UNSC Resolute in the prologue of the
Oh,
fall.
I forgot about the Resolute.
Oh, me too, man.
Yeah. I thought, Eggy, oh my gosh, I thought you were going to like pull something out of like the Cortana letters or something bacon.
Oh, God. That
You
would
don't want to be too mean.
Okay.
I didn't notice you specify warship instead of just ship, which
I have one more opportunity to be established as a Halo lore pillar here. If I lose this chance, Shane takes over the show for me.
Please get it right.
If I guess and get one of these right, where does that leave me?
Oh, you're gonna take over the whole company.
I know. I mean, I'll do my best, but
Okay, so what we got? What's the last question?
do you want to go, Chris, or do you want me to go? I've got one in mind already, but
I've got one in mind as well. Do you want
So
to?
there's four of us, 4 questions. Come on. You can't
Okay,
do
4
this.
questions.
Three.
Fine. Four
Right.
questions.
Right.
Chris, you go first then.
So, what's the cat named on the Spirit of Fire? The ship's cat.
Oh my gosh, I knew this for so
great
long.
there's a cat.
Yeah, there's a cat on the Spirit of Fire. I love that cat. I wish that the cat would show up in the cutscenes at least once.
There's even up.
Is it
It
cat
does
with a K?
technically appear in the cinematics, actually. It does technically appear in the game.
Well, are we talking about isn't there like a bowl or a collar or something you see?
No, it's in the paper.
There's like a newspaper. Like
The newspaper.
like a
Yeah,
church,
that
like,
mentioned.
newspaper thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the cat's name. Oh man, you guys suck. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able. Nibbles.
That'd be a good name.
What's the cat's name?
You have been and shall always be my friend. That is my hint.
You have been and shall always be my friend.
It's a reference to another IP.
I figured as much. Hey, thanks for that.
Left field. It is. I have such a crazy.
always be.
I can't do it. What is it?
Okay, do you just want me to tell you?
I yield.
See, my brain goes to a completely
Spock.
different place.
What was it?
Spock.
Oh, Spark!
Spark.
Dang it!
Spark. Dude, I heard
Not
him.
Spark. It's Spock.
I heard him say.
Yes, Spock.
Oh, Spock!
the
Not
cat.
Spark. Sorry, accent. Spock. That makes a lot of sense.
What did you say the hint was again?
It was Spock.
What was the hint?
He
the
quoted
hint?
Spock.
You have been and always will be my friend.
For some reason, I thought Red Solo Cup. For some reason.
What? What? The cat's name is Red Solo Cup. You're right.
Like the song. Like the song. You ever listen to the song?
No, I don't know the song.
Oh, you guys are lame.
Okay, so I've only gotten all 3 wrong so far. So what's the last one?
Like I said,
For the record, I wouldn't have been able to answer any of those 3 questions, so don't feel too bad. So I was working on like the plasma pistol page for like months last year. So this is something that was stuck in my head. So the plasma pistol, it's the gun that's appeared in every Halo game at this point.
Thankfully, yes.
Thankfully, yes. Which design is the earliest design in terms of chronologically? And it dates back actually to pre-Covenant times.
And Jack, I assume you're not asking for a pattern name, right?
Oh, no, you don't have to say pattern name.
It's Halo 5s, isn't it?
You can speak English.
Sorry, which one did you say?
Isn't it Halo 5's design?
Yeah.
Wait, what? How did you know that?
Covenant.
That's true. You're the Covenant guy.
All right, James has the
I got one right.
James is the only one who has he's the one that is, we call him the Covenant shill. So that actually does surprise me quite a bit.
The apologist for the Covenant.
I just remember I probably read it on Halopedia. when I just randomly one day was like, why does it look like that?
That's James. I hereby transfer ownership of the company
Okay.
and the show to you.
Wow, this is great.
Just sell it while the stock is high.
Hey, I'm moving, so you kind of need.
No, sell it. Just sell the rights to the LLC.
There's no one that wants to buy this LLC.
I don't know.
Kyle might buy it.
Kyle might want to buy it.
There's a few things that we like. They'd have the rights to the Discord, the name, the show,
Yeah, that's true.
all the Chatternet stuff. Like,
I'm sure these have at least a couple dollars. The equipment.
Put a bid on it.
Yeah.
But I think
Wrote off the equipment on your taxes. Then
I didn't.
why didn't you?
Because I don't think they were, for some one reason or another, not applicable.
That sounds fake.
I'd be happy to have a nice in-depth discussion about taxes on the Lore podcast if you want.
Let's
I mean, we did touch upon the Jackal banking system.
They did, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Okay, hold on, I gotta bring that up.
No.
Just real quick before we wrap up. 2 weeks ago we had Cammy Shep on, all right? And Cammy, we asked him what his favorite random, like what is his go-to if someone asks him what's his most strange Halo fact that he knows, and he just started explaining how Jackal banking works.
Yeah, I mean, what the UEG's tax policy is something I genuinely wish we knew more about.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely really high.
but anyway, I think I'm gonna call it there. I think we're gonna just, before we go down more rabbit holes, because I know we could go on them for so very long. My friends, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been an absolute treat of a conversation. I think that this will be very eye-opening for a lot of people who are listening today. I know if it was eye-opening for me, I know a lot of people are going to be eye-open on a lot of things. So thank you for joining us today. Listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, then obviously we'd love to hear what your thoughts were. Pop into the Discord anytime. Go to JumperScape.com and get plugged in there. You can find ways to support us there and also get yourself this nice little shirt here. If you want to get yourself some nice quick energy, you can go to glitchenergy.com, spelled with a Y. Use the code Connor141, spelled
CONNOR 141.
Indeed. And next week, we are going to have a guest from one of the largest Halo communities that I personally have discovered, the Classic Halo Hub. One of the top admins will be joining us next week to talk a little bit about what it's like keeping old Halo alive in terms of the gameplay experience. So stay tuned for that. And if you're listening on our all of our audio platforms, not YouTube, then we'll see you in a little bit for our Patreon segment. Thank you so much for listening.